Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking Pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings Girls game. And now, Viking Pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. Rick Olson here, and tonight the 15-6 Viking girls are getting ready for a non-conference matchup as they prepare to take on the also 15-6 Fall Creek Crickets, who hail from the West Cloverbelt Conference. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Crickets and the Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll send it out to Colfax High School, where we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's girls basketball game as the Colfax Vikings prepare to battle with the West Cloverbelt Conference's Fall Creek Crickets. The 15-6 Vikings, who are 10-3 in the Dunn St. Croix Conference, are looking to build some momentum for the upcoming WIAA Regionals following Friday's 40-32 win over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. In that victory over the Wolves, although it wasn't pretty, the Vikings scrapped and kept their poise and finally put the game away. Leading the way for the Vikings in that effort was the performance of 5'7" junior McKenna Shipman, who hit on 6 of 12 field goal attempts, one of which was a three-pointer, as well as going 3 for 6 from the free throw line for 13 points. 5'6" sophomore Kaysen Goodell followed, nailing 4 field goals, 2 of which were from three-point land, and went 2 for 5 from the charity stripe for 12 points. And 5'9" senior Ainsley Olson sunk 3 field goals and went 1 for 4 from the free throw line for 7 points in only one half of action. So far this season, leading the way for the Vikings in scoring is Shipman, who's scoring over 17 points per game. She's followed by Jeanette Hajdukovic, who's averaging 7 points per game, and Olson adds another 6. Leading the way on the boards this season is Shipman, who's averaging nearly 7 rebounds per game, while Hajdukovic is pulling down over 6, and Olson is grabbing right around 5.5 rebounds per game. Now, the Fall Creek Crickets, like the Vikings, are currently 15-6 on the season. They are currently 9-5 in the West Cloverbelt Conference. The Crickets were also in action Friday night when they defeated the Stanley Boyd Orioles 56-33. Now, we don't have much information about the Crickets or their stats, but based on what we have been able to piece together, look for the Crickets to be led in scoring by freshman Jasmine Hewer, who's putting up around 13 points per game. She appears to be followed by Kimberly Sell, who's pitching in around 10 points per game. Now, thus far on the season, the Crickets are scoring an average of 53 points per game while giving up 41. On the other hand, the Vikings are averaging 50 points per game while giving up 38. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Courtney Serrar on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
Soon the weather will change and you'll be able to breathe in the clean fresh air of spring. And you know what comes right along with that. That's right, it will be time for Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball. Follow the Cavaliers all season long right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-TV. Be sure to check out our website at www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for our current broadcast schedule.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again, we're talking with Viking girls head coach Courtney Serrar and Coach's Corner. And Coach, last Friday, the Vikings defeated a pretty scrappy Elmwood Plum City Wolves, 40-32. Your comments about that game?
Yeah, I was just happy to come away with a win. You know, we've been a little banged up in the injury department. You know, we didn't shoot well from the free throw line, and just sometimes it seems like all those things are stacked against you. But, you know, the girls made plays at the end when they had to, and we came away with a win, and that's all that matters. So.
And the positive thing about that is it didn't really matter who you had on the floor. They really did a pretty good job of keeping their poise and not letting the scrappiness of Elmwood Plum City and the fact that Elmwood Plum City really thought they had a chance to pull off a pretty big upset, and we're pretty fired up about that. The girls kept their poise and played the way they're supposed to.
Yeah, you know, we got a lot of kids, a lot of minutes, and that was good. You know, I put some, you know, younger kids into a tough spot, and they responded well, which was good to see. You know, and like you said, Elmwood played hard. They were scrappy, and, you know, they came ready to play, and I thought they executed, you know, their game plan really well. And, you know, and we did too. We just didn't make shots. It seemed like we missed a lot of easy ones. Like I said earlier, missed a ton of free throws, and, you know, sometimes that's the way it goes. But, you know, down the stretch, I thought, you know, we did play good defense. We boxed when we had to. And I thought, you know, other than some, you know, careless turnovers, we did a pretty good job of, you know, running what we wanted to at the end.
Well, tonight, the Vikings get to take on the Fall Creek Crickets, who, like the Vikings, are sitting at 15-6 on the season. What can you tell us about the Crickets?
Yeah, they're a good team. You know, Jason's a good coach. He does a good job with them. You know, they're definitely battle-tested playing in the Clover Belt, and we're going to have our work cut out for us. So, you know, like I said, we're not, you know, completely healthy yet. Ainsley's still, you know, sore knee, and Jada's still out with a concussion. And so we're just, you know, I've talked to the girls that sometimes that's just the way it goes. And when your number is called, you have to step up and be ready to play. And but, yeah, we're going to have our work cut out for us. I told the girls, you know, we're definitely going to have to box and rebound better than we did Friday night. You know, I'm hoping that we shoot better from the field and from the free throw line, and just, you know, continue to take a step in the right direction now that, you know, we're a week away from playoffs, and, you know, we just want to keep getting better.
Well, getting information about the Crickets has been pretty tough. There aren't a whole lot of statistics out there for them, but it looks like they're being led by freshman Jasmine Hewer, who's putting up about 14 points a game. What special challenges does she present?
Yeah, she's athletic and she's big. So, you know, we have to keep her off the boards. We can't let her just have easy looks at the basket. You know, they have a couple great seniors who are, you know, have been around the block and know, you know, what their game plan is and who they're looking for and what, you know, advantages or disadvantages that they have. And they do a good job of, you know, finding the person who has the mismatch. And that's one thing that, you know, presents a challenge for us is they got, you know, some big kids, bigger than us. So between that Hewer and the Martin, and then another freshman off the bench who's just as big. So, you know, I think on the inside, we're definitely going to have to make sure that we win the rebounding battle. Otherwise, you know, it's going to be hard for us to pull out the W tonight if we can't do that.
Well, after tonight, there's only one game left in the Vikings regular season, and it will be time for the WIAA regionals. What excites you the most about taking this team into WIAA play?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a fresh start, I think. So everybody's back to, 0-0, and the whoever plays well on that night is, the winner. So there's no, I don't know what the right word is, but you just have to come ready to play each night, because you're done with, guarantees. You're done with, for sure being given a game, in 2 days or the next night or whatever. You just have to make sure that you come ready to play that night. And that's, something I think that is a valuable lesson, especially with a young group. I liked our seed, and I like, our outcome. And I think we can have anybody in either of the sectionals, so it should be interesting.
You drew a number 3 seed, so you play your first game on the 24th against the winner of Cumberland and Unity. How do you like that seed, that number 3 spot?
Yeah, I mean, I think regardless of where we were seated, I think all the 1 through 4 teams are pretty even. So we're definitely going to have to play well. If we win our first game, then, we'll probably end up going to Cadott, and, they're a good team. So but so are we. And, like I said, I was happy with, how it worked out, and we can play with anybody in our half sectional and anybody in the bottom half sectional. I hope we, can get a rematch with Neilsville, and that means we made it to the sectional final. And I'm excited, and hopefully the girls respond well, because, this year might be the best chance that you got. I think top to bottom, all the teams are pretty even. There's not like one standout, team who's, worlds better than everybody. So you might not get a chance like that again. So I'm hoping, that we understand that and come ready to play.
Well, Coach, good luck on tonight's game, and hopefully the Vikings can catch some heat and build a little momentum heading into the regionals.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, with a look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The 15-6 Vikings are trying to get geared up for the upcoming WIAA playoffs. Meanwhile, the Fall Creek Crickets are also getting ready for those WIAA regionals that are less than a week away. Now, these two teams met back on January 3rd of last season. The Vikings came out on top in that game, 50-43, and the Crickets wouldn't mind getting a little payback for that one. So the stage is set for some exciting girls high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. So in just a moment, we'll send it out to Colfax High School, where our broadcast crew will bring you all the action of tonight's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Fall Creek Crickets. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 are proud to announce that this spring they will be your viewing home for Eau Claire Cowboys football. Check out www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for times and dates. That's Eau Claire Cowboy football on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking Basketball.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Slayton's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Slayton's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Slayton's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Slayton's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Slayton's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Colfax Viking Basketball is on the air.
And the long pass down and in by Hajdukovic.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly presents tonight's Colfax Viking Girls Varsity Basketball game.
Long pass down the floor to Olsen. She stops, puts it up, she hit it!
Join us as we head out to the gym for tonight's Viking basketball.
This gets it over to the left side to Shipman, three-pointer. She hit it! McKenna Shipman with the three puts the Vikings on top, 3-2. Good evening, and welcome to Colfax High School. Rick Olsen here with Cassie Johnson-Nelson on keeping the numbers straight for us tonight. Jeff Gust on the camera, and we're getting ready to bring you the 15-6 Vikings taking on the 15-6 Fall Creek Crickets. In fact, the entire Dunn St. Croix Conference is stepping out of conference play tonight. We have Mondovi at Prairie Farm, Bloomers at Elk Mound, Emmanuel Lutheran is at Elmwood Plum City, Alma Pepin is at Boyceville, and Spring Valley is at Cumberland. I'd like to remind you that tonight's Colfax High School basketball game is being brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital. Let Dr. Buckley and his friendly staff take care of your pet. Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley. Anderson Bridges, who've been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, the IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. And FitFam Nutrition of Colfax, with drinks that taste as good as their names sound, plus they're healthy. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors that bring you Colfax Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV. So tonight, both these teams are starting to get things geared up for the upcoming WIAA regional playoffs, and those start a week from tomorrow. Vikings drew the number 3 seed, and so they will not have their first game until next Friday, I believe it is. And they're going to play the winner of the game between Unity and Cumberland. That part I know for sure. It's the 24th, whichever day that is. Anyway, that's when the Vikings are going to play their first game in the WIA playoffs. Both of these teams are 15-6, and so they've had some ups and downs this year and trying to get things geared the way they want to going into the WIA playoffs. Starting lineups for tonight's game, let's go through those real quick. First of all, for the Fall Creek Crickets, we start with 5'6" sophomore guard Kennedy Tum, and then 5'9" senior forward Tori Martin, 5'6" senior guard Jenna Anders, 5'5" senior guard McKenna Clawwitter, and then 5'10" freshman Jasmine Hewer. For the Vikings, we have 5'6" sophomore Kason Goodell, 5'6" senior Molly Hydorn, 5'9" senior Ainsley Olson, 5'10" junior Jeanette Hajdukovic, and 5'7" junior McKenna Shipman. I'll tell you what, we're going to take a bit of a timeout here and get a message or two from our sponsors, and then we'll be back with the official starting lineups coming out of the scorers table, and that's right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
If you have a high-deductible health plan, opening a health savings account at Dairy State Bank will allow you to save tax-free dollars to pay for a long list of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit DairyStateBank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380. And welcome back to Colfax High School as we're getting ready to bring you tonight's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Fall Creek Crickets. And we're going to send it down courtside for the playing of our national anthem, and then that'll be followed by the starting lineups for tonight's game. And Athletic Director Mike Hodel having a few technical difficulties getting the national anthem played. So he'll had to run all the way across, and he'll do it manually. And it looks like the receiver for the wireless mic wasn't plugged in. And he's still working on it. You know, I don't give him any grief because it's not like we never have technical difficulties either. And back across the gym he goes. Now let's see what he's got.
Please stand and be able to remove your hats and place your hand over your heart onto the flag as the national anthem is played. Oh, sing and sing, the dawn's light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming,
recorded version by Colfax High School students. I think they called themselves the Boys Quartet or something like that. So let's go back down courtside for the starting lineups.
And your Colfax Viking. Introducing the starters for the Crickets. Number 10, a sophomore. Number 12, senior Corey Watson. Number 20, senior Jenna Anders. Number 22, senior Jenna Wood. And number 44, freshman Jasmine Dewar. Head coach Jason Larson. And now the starting lineup for your Colfax Viking.
That's the starting lineups. Again, for the Crickets, it's Tom, Martin, Anders, Clawwitter, and Hewer. And for the Vikings, it's Goodell, Hydorn, Olson, Hajdukovic, and Shipman. By the way, on NLWN-2, the Viking boys are just in action as that game is just underway. About 15 and a half minutes to go in the first half, and the Vikings are on top 2-0 in that one. And you can catch that on NLWN-2 if you're so inclined. But I think we've got a heck of a good one brewing here. Two pretty evenly matched teams. This one could be a lot of fun tonight. Both teams heading out on the floor. Stepping into the center circle for Fall Creek is Tori Martin. Ainsley Olson stepping in for the Vikings. Vikings will be moving from left to right. As you look at your screen, Vikings in their home whites, Fall Creek in the road blacks. Vikings control the tip. Goodell gets it over to Hydorn, and she comes right through the C at the center of the court. Feeds it over to the left side. Shipman has it on the wing. Tries to get it to Hajdukovic. Ball's taken away by Fall Creek, and they're coming down the floor. Hewer on the dribble. Tries to feed it across to Clawwitter, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be Vikings ball. Shipman to inbound. Gets it to Hydorn. Hydorn across the timeline. Slides off to the right, gets it to Hajdukovic along the right baseline. To Shipman, gets it out to Olson. She can't hang on to it. It goes off her knee and out of bounds. Vikings putting on full court pressure. Ball comes into Tum. She's on the dribble. Feeds it over to Clawwitter. Clawwitter across the timeline. Right back to Tum. Then down underneath and laying it up and in is Hewer. Hewer averaging somewhere in the 13, 14 point per game range. Statistics were pretty hard to come by on Fall Creek, but we did piece some things together. Hajdukovic with it, feeds it to the left baseline. Shipman lays it up and in, and we're all tied at 2. Clawwitter with it. She feeds it over to Anders. Back out high to Tum. Cross court over to Clawwitter on the left side. Stops at the top of the key. Tries to get it to Hewer in the lane, but they misconnect and it goes out of bounds. Vikings inbound the ball. Hydorn with it. Across the timeline. She's picked up there by Anders. Takes it over to the right side. Fall Creek in a man-to-man defense. They get it to Olson. Olson feeds it back to Hydorn on the right side. Takes it to the free throw line. Gets it out to Goodell. Puts up the three. She hit the three-pointer. Kason Goodell with the three-pointer. Down the floor comes Fall Creek. Long pass down underneath. That's Anders, puts it up and in. Jenna Anders with the 2. 5-4, Vikings up by 1. Olsen has it on the right side. Takes it to the free throw line. Gets it up to Hajdukovic. To Shipman. Puts up the shot. She hit the 3. McKenna Shipman with a three-pointer. Vikings on top. 8-4. Hewer with it. Tries to feed it down low. And the ball got away and out of bounds. Nigaman in for Olsen. Olsen favoring her knee a little bit where she's going to see some, they're going to watch her time carefully. They want her healthy come playoff time. Heidorn with it. Feeds it over to the left side to Shipman. Shipman with a spin move, loses the handle. Picked up by Fall Creek and down the floor comes Anders. Hits it out to Tum. Tum over to Clawwitter on the left side. Clawwitter gets it out to Martin and then to Tum. To Clawwitter to Anders on the left baseline. She dribbles it out. Cross-court pass over to Tum on the right side. Drives into the lane. Tries to feed it up, but the ball gets taken away by Heidorn. Feeds it down low to Nigaman, who dribbles it right off her foot and out of bounds at win. Keltner and Jordan Bovey are into the lineup for the Vikings. Metal Keltner and Jordan Bovey. Hewer with it. She feeds it up. They get it down underneath and try to work it on the baseline, and one too many steps by Tori Martin. So the Vikings have it 8-4, 14:35 to go in the first half. Down the floor come the Vikings. This is Bovey with it. Gets it high, wide, and right. Keltner. Then out to Hajdukovic, out to Goodell. Goodell takes it down the right side of the lane. Backs out. Gets it to Nigaman. Nigaman free throw line extended right. Then out to Bovey. To Hajdukovic. To Nigaman. And we're going to say a foul on the floor against Fall Creek. It's the first foul on anyone. And that foul is on McKenna Clawwitter, her first. Vikings inbound it to Hajdukovic, puts a jumper up from 8 feet, and it's good. Right in the middle of the lane. Jeanette Hajdukovic with it. So on the dribble now is Anders. She gets it over to the left side, and Clawwitter has it. Feeds it down low, laying it up, and it doesn't go in. Tipped around, and we're going to get a foul called on the Vikings, I believe. I think it's on Nigaman. It is, and it's the first foul. So at the line is Jasmine Hewer. First shot is good. Her second shot off the front of the iron, no good. Nigaman couldn't hang on to the ball, and putting it up and in for Fall Creek is Tori Martin. 10-7, Vikings up by 3. Vikings feed it down into the right corner. Nigaman has it. She tries to dribble it out. Ball gets knocked loose. Hewer comes down the floor for Fall Creek. Cross-court pass up, no good. Hewer tries to get the rebound. Nigaman gets it and hands it off to Shipman. Feeding it into the lane to Hajdukovic. She lays it up and it crawls over the rim and goes down through. Jeanette Hajdukovic with the shot. Down the floor comes Tum, and she feeds it off to the right side to Anders. Anders down into the corner, gets it out to Hewer, cross court over to Tom on the left side. Feeds it out to Martin. Martin puts up the shot, it's good. Tori Martin with the 2. Bovey gets it to Shipman, feeds it to Hajdukovic. Quick pass over to Niederman. She got it out to Bovey, who put it up and in. And it was a 3-pointer for Bovey. 15-9, Vikings up by 6. Fall Creek with it on the right side. Now they get it out between the circles to Tum. Over to the left side to Martin. Back over to the right side to Hewer. She's on the dribble, tries to take it into the lane. Kicks it back out to Anders. Anders puts up the shot, it's good. She was just inside the arc. 15-11. 11:50 remaining in the first half. Hajdukovic with it. Gets it out to Nigaman at the top of the key. Over to the right side to Shipman. Shipman drives down to the baseline. Cross-court pass over to Hajdukovic to Nigaman. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound taken down by Fall Creek. They get it to Anders. She gets it out between the circles to Clawwitter. Over to the right side to Tum. Back to Anders now between the circles. To Martin on the left. Back out to Tum. Tum drives to the free throw line. Gets it to Martin. Tries to drive the baseline. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul. Foul's going to be on Nigaman. It's her second personal. Second team foul on the Vikings. And the first shot is up. It's no good. It's Tori Martin at the line. J.C. Bovey, Olsen, and Hydorn back into the lineup for the Vikings. Martin's second shot is up. Off the air, no good. Rebound taken down by Hajdukovic. Gets it to Shipman. And down the floor come the Vikings with Hydorn on the dribble. Between the circles. Feeds it over to the left side to Hajdukovic. Out to Olsen between the circles. Feeds it to the right side to Shipman. Or check that. That's not Shipman. That's Bovey. Now to Hydorn. Out to Olsen. She's high, wide, and right. Now between the circles to Hajdukovic on the left side. Feeds it to Olsen, going down the lane, puts it up, no! And the rebound taken down by Doherty. Doherty gets it over to Hewer. Hewer feeds it out to Tum. And Tum off to Anders. Back to Tum in the lane, couldn't control the ball, and we're gonna get a jump ball called. Possession arrow in favor of Fall Creek. Into the lineup for the Crickets is Campbell Sell. Pass comes into Sell. She feeds it over to the right side, then they get it into the lane, back out to the top of the key. Shot goes up by Hewer, no good. Rebound, put back up and in by Hewer. 15-13, Vikings by 2. Hewer with 5 points so far. Bovey with it, that's J.C. Bovey. Gets it out to Hydorn. Gets it over to the left side to Shipman. Shipman drives on the right side, and then putting up the shot is Bovey, and it goes out of bounds. 15-13, Vikings by 2 with 9:44 to go in half number 1. Crickets have the ball. They get it over to Tum in the backcourt. Get it into the forecourt to Hewer. Tries to feed it down low. Cross-court pass. Shot goes up and in. And we're all tied. That was a shot by Doherty. Vikings come down the floor, tied at 15. Feeding it down into the lane to Hajdukovic. She lays it up, overlaid it. And Hewer comes down with the rebound. Crickets down the floor. Hewer at the top of the key. Takes it straight into the lane. Turns around, puts it up. No, it doesn't go. Rebound, grabbed by Bovey. Gets it to Hydorn. Hydorn takes it over to the right side. Stops, keeps her dribble, and now she picked up her dribble, tries to feed it into the lane, and she was trying to get it to Shipman, and that wasn't going to happen. And we have a foul called on Shipman. Trying to go over the back, trying to get to that when there was really no path to it. First foul on Shipman. Third team foul on the Vikings. Ball comes in, and Jenna Anders has it in the backcourt. She's now guarded heavily there. She gets it over to Doherty, who turns around, dribbles it across the timeline. Ball gets tipped away, but then it goes out of bounds. Goodell with some scrappy defense. Anders to inbound. She gets it in to Sell. Sell back to Anders, and then to Doherty from three. No, rebound is tipped. It goes out of bounds. It's going to be Vikings ball. Hydorn on the dribble. We're all tied at 15. Hydorn with it, gets it to Olsen. Olsen feeds it into the lane, and it gets tipped back out, and Goodell with a three-pointer. Kaysen Goodell hit the three. That gives Goodell 6 points on the night. Fall Creek with it. They feed it into the lane. Ball got knocked away, but Fall Creek hangs on to it. And now it gets knocked away, and Olsen comes away with it for the Vikings. Get it to Goodell. Drives to the lane. Feeds it out to Hydorn. Takes it down to the right baseline. Gets it back out to Olsen. Drives into the lane. Lays it up. It won't go in. And down with it come the Crickets. Anders on the dribble. She feeds it over to the left side to Tum. Back out to Anders on the right side. Down into the lane. Shot goes up and off the glass and in by Tori Martin. That's 6 points for Martin tonight. Hydorn on the dribble. Gets it out to Olsen between the circles. To Shipman on the right side. To Hajdukovic. Lays it up, puts it in. 20-17, Vikings up by 3. Down the floor comes the pass. It got tipped. It's out of bounds. Tipped by Olsen. She got a finger in there to break up the play. They were trying to get it down deep to Campbell Sell. Fall Creek with it. High, wide, and right. That's Anders. And she gets it over to Sell. And then down to Claw-Witter. Claw-Witter gets it back out high to Anders. Over to the right side to Doherty. Now back to the left side. And back to the right. Back underneath on the baseline. Going up with it was Tori Martin, but she got fouled by Jeanette Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic blocked the shot and blocked part of Tori Martin at the same time. Shot goes up, it's good. Free throw. (20-18). 6:10 to go in the first half. Second shot is up and good. Vikings bring the ball down the floor. They get it out on the left side to Jordan Bovey. Hands it off to Goodell. Goodell at the top of the key. Goodell loses the ball, but gets it back, gets it to Hydorn. Feeds it to Shipman, puts up the turnaround jumper. It's good from the elbow. Right off the left or right elbow, and McKenna Shipman, and then the Crickets lose it out of bounds. Shipman to inbound. And they get it into Hydorn, takes it between the circles. Hydorn down to the free throw line, into the lane, gets it back out to Goodell, puts up the three, no. Rebound by Shipman, puts it back up, no. And coming down with it is Fall Creek. Hewer got the rebound and then fed it over to Anders, and then she gets it out to Clawwitter, and Clawwitter over to Doherty. Back out to Hewer, back to Doherty on the left side. Back out to Anders, to Hewer on the right side. And now Anders, and then out to Hewer and into the lane, and the shot is good by Campbell-Sell. Vikings up by 1, 22-21. Just under 5 minutes to go in the half. Hydorn with it. Spins in the lane, lays it up, it won't go in. Rebound, and we're going to get a foul on Hajdukovic, crashing in on the rebound. That's a second foul on Hajdukovic. 15 foul on the Vikings. Olsen checking back in. Hajdukovic going to take a break. Ball comes into Clawwitter. Feeds it down to Anders. Anders into the forecourt, down the left side of the lane, puts it up and hits it off the backside of the superstructure of the backboard. And now the officials are going to discuss it. And I don't know why, but for some reason, Fall Creek has the ball. Maybe the Vikings tipped it on the way up to the superstructure. Anyway, Fall Creek gets it down towards the lane. They get it out to Clawwitter, who gets it over to Anders, and then over to Hewer on the right side. Gets it to Sell in the lane, lost the handle, and the Vikings come away with it. Goodell with it, gets it out to Hydorn. Hydorn takes it down the left side of the lane, tries to lay it up, it's blocked, and down the floor come the Crickets. Hewer with it, takes it down to the right baseline, feeds it into the lane, shot goes up, high off the glass and in. That was a shot by Anna Doherty. Hydorn with it. She feeds it over to Jordan Bovey. Bovey has it on the right side. She's on the dribble. Feeds it over to Goodell. Goodell puts up the three. She missed it. Rebound taken down by Sell. And they misconnect on the pass. It'll be Viking ball. Fall Creek up by 1, 23-22. .329 remaining. Ball comes in to Hydorn. She's between the circles. Takes it over to the left side. Three-point shot up is long, no good. Fall Creek coming away with it. Down the floor, they feed it down underneath. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound taken down by Doherty, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul on Goodell. Foul's on Kaysen Goodell. It's her first, sixth team foul. So that means from this point on, Fall Creek will be in the bonus. Tum with it. Gets it down into the right corner. Shot is no good by Doherty. And the Vikings quickly back down the floor. Hydorn gets it out to Olsen. She takes it into the lane, dribbles it off her own foot, but picked up by Goodell. Long shot by Shipman, no good. Rebound taken down by Fall Creek. Tum with it between the circles, takes it over to the right side. Sell tries to penetrate the lane, gets it back out to Tum. Three-pointer on the way, she hit it. I think the scoreboard's wrong because they gave the points to the wrong team. So the ball, the Vikings have it. They're in the process of fixing it. It's 26-22, and then Shipman drives in the lane, lays it up and in. McKenna Shipman with the 2. 9 points for Shipman on the night. Fall Creek with it. They get it over to Sell, and out high to Doherty. Back over to Anders, working the left side. Sell has it. They get it out to Tum. Cross-court pass over to Doherty. Doherty back out to Anders at the top of the key. Anders tries to feed it down to the lane. Ball's taken away by Shipman. Down the floor comes McKenna Shipman. Vikings trail by 2. Shot goes up by Jordan Bovey, and she hit the 3. Jordan Bovey with a 3-pointer. 27-26, Vikings up by 1. Ball to Anders, to Tum. And over to Doherty, to Sell. Back to Tum, she drives into the lane. We're gonna get a whistle and a foul. And the foul's gonna be on Goodell. And we have some substitutes coming in. That's going to send Tum to the line for the 1-and-1. Shot is up, no good. That score over in Amory is Amory 21 and the Viking boys 14. They're still in the first half over there. Shot goes up, no good by Fall Creek, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. With a push underneath against Fall Creek. Foul's on Martin, it's her first. Vikings have the ball under a minute to go in the first half. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we have the Viking profile. And the Viking profile tonight is Sierra Shipman. Jordan Bovey with it. Gets it back out to Hydorn. 12 seconds remaining in the half. And we're going to get an offensive foul called against the Vikings. And it's on Nigaman. That's the third foul on Nigaman. Olsen checks in for her. They don't want her picking up a real quick fourth foul with 10 seconds to go in the half. Fall Creek looking to inbound. Finally, they get it in. And down the floor, they feed it down to Martin. And they're going to get her with a double dribble. 5 seconds remaining in the half. Vikings will have the ball. Long pass down, it's intercepted by Fall Creek. Long shot, off the glass, no good. And we have reached halftime. Score at halftime, Vikings 27, the Fall Creek Crickets 26. And we'll be back with Viking halftime right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV and Viking TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
To get your lawn or garden to perform like you want, you first need to know about your soil. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Sierra Shipman, who is a freshman here at Colfax High School. And Sierra, we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
Yes, volleyball and softball.
Okay, and what kind of a season did you have for volleyball?
Pretty good.
You had fun?
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important part, you know. Now, when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of experience has that been for you?
I started in like second grade, I think, and it's been pretty good.
Okay. And what's the most important thing that you've learned playing basketball?
To stay positive, and yeah.
Okay. Keep that positive attitude. Good things will happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you're not playing basketball, you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
Probably going camping and hanging out with my family.
Okay. Those are good things. All right, I've got some rapid fire questions for you. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream.
Which flavor?
Chocolate chip.
You know what's funny about this is almost everybody else up to this point has said cookies. Guess what kind they choose? Chocolate chip. So you just take the ice cream version. Okay. Your favorite color and why?
Hot pink. I just like it.
And it shows up everywhere, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. Now, if you could have a superpower, what do you think Sierra's superpower would be?
Probably to fly.
Okay. All right. Get a lot of conveniences by flying, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have that ability to fly, of course you have to have a superhero name to go with it. So what do you think Sierra's superhero name might be?
I do not know.
The first one that pops into my head is Soaring Sierra.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah.
Kind of works in basketball too, you know. Do you have a favorite NBA or WNBA team?
Probably the Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay. And how about a favorite collegiate team?
No.
No? All right. Is there a basketball player somewhere along the line, any level of ball, who has inspired the way you play your game?
Probably Maddie Doucette.
Okay. All right. We're talking with Sierra Shipman here on Viking Profile. And Sierra, what are your plans for after high school? Bearing in mind that you're a freshman, so this can change.
I have no clue what I want to do.
And that's perfectly okay as a freshman. You're still exploring a lot of ideas. How about a shout out to the family?
Yeah, shout out to Mom and Dad for coming to everything and supporting us.
Okay. When people watch Viking games, what number are they looking for if they want to see Sierra? And where are they going to find you on the floor?
Probably 2. I have no clue what number I am yet.
Okay. All right. We want to thank Sierra Shipman for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next is more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
CWX.
You're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How is it? Is it good?
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
And welcome back to Colfax High School. Getting ready to start the second half of tonight's game where the Vikings are on top, 27-26. And this is how we got there. For the Fall Creek Crickets, leading the way is Tori Martin. She has 8 points on 3 field goals and 2 free throws. Then we have Jasmine Hoyer. We were told how to pronounce her name. It's pronounced Hoyer. What would a game be if I didn't butcher somebody's name? And I apologize to Jasmine for messing up hers, but we'll get it right the rest of the night, I hope. She has 5. Jenna Anders and Anna Doherty each have 4. Kennedy Tum has 3. And Campbell Sell has 2. For the Vikings, they're being led by McKenna Shipman, who has 9, 4 field goals. One of them was a 3-pointer. Then Kaysen Goodell and Jordan Bobie and Jeanette Hajdukovic all have 6 points each, so that comes out to 27. So the Vikings have that lead as we're coming up on the start of the second half. I want to remind you to join NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network on Thursday, the 16th. The girls are going to wrap up their regular season by playing host to the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Live coverage will begin with Viking pregame at 6:50. And that'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action. That's Colfax Girls Basketball Thursday, February 16th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV. Vikings to inbound the ball to start the second half. Shipman gets it into Hydorn, and across the timeline she goes. Vikings now moving right to left to Hajdukovic at the right elbow. Hands it off to Shipman from 3 from the top of the key, off the iron, no good. Rebound chased down in the corner. And Olsen stepped out of bounds before saving it back in off the legs of Hoyer. Hoyer inbounds it and gets it to Tum. Tum tries to feed it into the forecourt, but it's a little bit long and out of bounds. Vikings will get it right back. And whoa, they changed their mind, and they're saying it's Fall Creek's ball. They're saying the Vikings tipped it as it. That's why it went a little bit long. So the Crickets have it. On the dribble is Clawwitter. She gets it out high to Martin. Then over onto the left side. Now back over to the right side to Martin into the lane. Hoyer turnaround jumper is good. 28-27. Fall Creek on top. Heidorn with it. Across the timeline. Moves over to the left side. Stops. Feeds it back over to the right to Goodell. Back to Heidorn, tries to lay it up. It doesn't go, and coming down with the rebound are the Crickets. Crickets pretty dominant on the board so far tonight. Hoyer gets it out high. That's to Anders. Now they get it over to the right side to Tum at the top of the right side. Then over to Anders. To Martin, and then the shot goes up and in. That was by Clawwitter, who made that shot, her first 2 points of the night. Heidorn across the timeline between the circles. Feeds it over to the right side to Olsen, high, wide, and right. Drives into the lane, kicks it out to Shipman. Shipman taking it back around, feeds it to Olsen underneath, tries to put it up and off the bottom of the rim. And Fall Creek with it, they feed it down underneath. Shot goes up and in by Tum. Or check that, it wasn't by Tum. That was Jenna Anders who made that. Vikings with it. Heidorn on the right side. Tries to feed it to Shipman. Got knocked loose. Hajdukovic gets it, puts it up. No. Puts the second shot, went up. No. Tries to go up with a third, and no. It got partially blocked. And down the floor come the Crickets. 32-27. Crickets by 5. They get it out to the top of the key. Shot goes up from 3. No. That was a shot by Martin, and the Vikings come away with it. Shipman on the left side. Gets tied up. We're going to get a whistle and a foul. McKenna Clawwitter kind of got tied up with Shipman. And she got Shipman rather than the ball. Jordan Bovey checks in for Olsen. Down the floor comes Heidorn. She loses the handle, and Fall Creek comes away. Quickly down the floor was Clawwitter. Now they get it out high. Driving the lane is Tum. She puts it up no good. Shipman with the rebound. To Heidorn. Heidorn on the dribble. Takes it over to the right side. Gets it to Goodell, and then she fed it into Shipman, whose shot was no good. And here comes Fall Creek. Down underneath to Martin, then they scrum for it on the baseline. They get it to Shipman, the Vikings do. Heidorn now with it across the timeline. Picks up her dribble, high, wide, and left. Feeds it over to the right side to Jordan Bovey. Back over to the left side to Shipman. Back over to the right to Bovey. To Goodell. As Fall Creek is sitting in a zone, and Bovey tries to put up the long shot, no good. And coming away with it is Fall Creek. They feed it over to the right side. Clawwitter gets it out to Hoyer. Hoyer drives down to the baseline, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. And down the floor they come. Heidorn over to Bovey. Leaping leaners, no good. And we have a timeout on the floor being called by Fall Creek, who has the lead, 32-27, 13:30 to go, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV and Viking TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Back here at Colfax High School, Vikings trailing by 5, 32-27 to the Fall Creek Crickets. Fall Creek has the ball on the near side. They get the ball in to Martin, who gets it back over to Clawwitter between the circles. Then to Anders on the left side. Back out high to Tum. Over to the right side to Clawwitter. Turnaround jump shot by Martin on the right side of the lane. No good, and Vikings come away with the rebound. Bovey on the dribble. This is J.C. Bovey. Out to Hajdukovic. To Jordan Bovey. To Shipman. Gets it back out to J.C. And over to Jordan. Back over to J.C. on the left side. To Jordan on the right. Down into the right wing to Goodell. Back out high to J.C. J.C. comes down to the right elbow. Over out to Jordan, to Goodell. Back out high to Jordan between the circles to Shipman on the left side. To J.C. on the left wing. Back out high to Shipman. Then over to the right side to Jordan. To J.C. Top of the key to Jordan. Feeds it to Shipman, cutting through the lane underneath to Hajdukovic. Puts it up and puts it in. Nice ball movement that time by the Vikings. Patience and ball movement. Here come the Crickets. Vikings down by 3. 12:05 to go. Crickets feed it into the lane. Martin turns around, puts it up off the side of the backboard, and the Vikings come away with it. Jordan feeds it to Shipman, feeds it into the lane to Hajdukovic. Turn around, puts it in. Jeanette Hajdukovic with another 2. 32-31. Here come the Crickets. Martin, and her shot got blocked, but Shipman got part of Martin at the same time. Actually, that was probably a pretty good foul by Shipman. So her second, first team foul on the Vikings, because that was an open layup otherwise. So she's going to make her earn it from the line. Shot goes up. First one's no good, so now that foul is already paid off. Nigaman into the lineup for the Vikings, replacing Goodell. Martin trying her second shot here. Shot goes up. No good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. To J.C. Bovey, and down the floor come the Vikings. Trailing by 1. Into the lane. Getting it back out to Nigaman on the left side. Out to the top of the key to Jordan. And to Hajdukovic, and we get a foul on the floor. And the foul is going to be on Tori Martin. It's her second team foul. Campbell Sell into the lineup for Fall Creek. Ball comes in to Hajdukovic. Gets it to Shipman. Over to J.C. Bovey. J.C. on the dribble to Nigaman. Over to Jordan Bovey. Takes it back out high to Shipman. Shipman takes it over to the left side, turns, takes it to the free throw line, over to J.C. Bovey. J.C. on the dribble on the right side, out to Jordan. To Nigaman, down underneath to Hajdukovic, lays it up, it won't go. Hajdukovic gets the rebound. Ball gets tipped, and we're going to get a whistle and a timeout called by the Vikings. So at 10:51 to go, 32-31, Fall Creek on top of the Vikings. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV. Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380. Taking a look at the game over in Amory, Viking boys trailing 43-27. And they're in the second half with just under 13 minutes to go. Vikings inbound the ball. They get it into Hajdukovic, over to Nigaman. Shot goes up and it crawls in. And the Vikings recapture the lead, 33-32. Here come the Crickets down the floor. Tom fed it off, and now they got it down into the left corner to Sell. Back out high to Hoyer. Feeds to Sell, driving through the lane, puts a shot up, no good, and we're going to get a whistle. And a foul is going to be called on Doherty, crashing in for the rebound. That'll be the first foul on Doherty, third team foul on the Crickets. Vikings get it in. J.C. Bovey on the dribble. She gets it across the timeline on the left side. Ball got knocked loose. She picked it up. Feeds it over to Hajdukovic. To Shipman on the left side. Three-pointer on the way. No! Won't go. And getting the rebound is Sell. And down the floor come the Crickets. Anders with it. Gets it to Hoyer at the top of the key. Hoyer back over to Anders. Then down in the corner to Hoyer, three-pointer, in and out, no good, and rebound, whistle, and a jump ball being called, possession arrow in favor of the Crickets. Checking in for the Vikings is Hydorn and Clawitter, and both Bovey girls take a break. Ball comes in underneath, shot by Sell, goes up, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. And Hydorn on the dribble right through the center circle. Takes it over to the left side. Stops, cuts into the lane. Feeds underneath to Hajdukovic. It gets tipped and picked up by Hoyer. Hoyer bringing it down the floor for the Crickets. Feeds it back out to Tum. Tum over to Anders, and then they get it over to Doherty. Ball's loose. Vikings almost had it. Crickets pick it up. Tum with it. Getting it over to the left side to Doherty. Down into the corner to Hoyer, to Sell. Back out high, long three-pointer, missed everything, and it's out of bounds. It's Viking ball. I believe that was Megan Johnston on that shot. Down the floor, or check that, that wouldn't have been her. Anyway, Hajdukovic with it, feeds it to Shipman, lays it up. No, it doesn't go. And down the floor come the Crickets. This is Hoyer into the lane. Shot goes up, no good. And down the floor come the Vikings, right back the other way. Into the lane. Hydorn lays it up and in. Tum has it on the right side. She gets it out to Hoyer. High, wide, and left. She drives into the lane, tries to put it up. Nothing there. And the Vikings come away with it. Hydorn on the dribble. Gets it across the timeline to Shipman. Lays it up, and it goes in! McKenna Shipman, and we're going to get a timeout on the floor. Vikings on top, 37-32, 7:57 to go. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
List of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit dairystatebank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
If you've been admiring the freshly groomed look of a baseball field, or the stunning appearance of a golf course, remember you too can have along with the same beauty by simply calling Midwest Environmental Consultants. Their professional lawn care experts can bring your lawn to its full beauty and appearance. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your lawn the showplace of the neighborhood.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Cassie Johnson-Nelson keeping the numbers for us. Jeff Gust on the camera, and Fall Creek inbounds the ball. Vikings up by 5, 7:55 to go. Crickets get it into the forecourt. Flawwitter on the dribble. She gets it out high. That's to Doherty. Now they get it over to Hoyer, and then down in the corner. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound by Flawwitter. Rebound by the Vikings, and Hydorn with it across the timeline. Hydorn feeds it over to the right side. Keltner on the dribble. Gets it back out to Hydorn on the left wing. To Shipman, driving down the right side of the lane. To Keltner, tries to drive into the lane. Tries to kick it out, and we're going to get her with a travel. Dragged that pivot foot as she tried to swing the ball around one of the Crickets. Dragged the pivot foot a little bit. So Fall Creek gets the ball. Flawwitter with it. Gets to Hoyer. Into the forecourt to Doherty. Doherty on the right side. Now high, wide, and right to Hoyer. Now they get it down underneath. Shot goes up, and they're going to get Shipman with a blocking foul. First shot is up and good. This is Doherty at the line. Second shot, no good. Rebound by Hajdukovic. She gets it over to Goodell. Goodell on the right side. They get it out to Nigaman. To Goodell. And to Keltner. And we have a whistle and a foul on the floor. Ball goes into Keltner, three-pointer on the way, no! And the rebound taken down by Anna Doherty. To Martin, that's Gracie Martin. And then over to Tori Martin. Back out to Gracie. Tries to feed it underneath, and it's intercepted by Goodell. Goodell takes it into the lane. Feeds it out high to Hydorn. To Keltner. And then over to the right side. This is Goodell on the dribble. To Keltner. To Hajdukovic. Then to Hydorn. Vikings up by 4. Goodell tries to go up, and they're going to get a jump ball called. And down the floor comes Fall Creek, putting the shot up is Sell. It's no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Down the floor comes Hydorn on the right side. Tries to feed it into Hajdukovic, and they're going to say Hajdukovic hopped with the ball and traveled. And into the lineup, several players for the Vikings. Let's see, out on the floor now for the Vikings, we have Shipman, Hajdukovic, Jordan Bovey, Hydorn, and Olsen. Crickets inbounded. Tum on the dribble, in the backboard, and gets it over to Hoyer, then back to Tum, and they get it into the forecourt to Anders. Anders takes it into the lane, and they're going to call a block on Olsen. Or that might have been on Shipman. It was on Shipman. There's a reason Olsen couldn't believe she was getting called for a foul, because she wasn't. Ball comes into Martin, and then it goes out to Tum. Tum feeds it off to Anders, or check that was Clawwitter. Then to Sell, or Hoyer. Hoyer drives, puts it up, and Hajdukovic is going to get called for the foul. That's the third foul on Hajdukovic. 4:52 to go. Vikings by 4. First shot by Hoyer is up and good. And the second shot is up and good. 37-35. Vikings by 2. 4:50 remaining. Hydorn with it across the timeline. Keeps it on the right side. Gives it over to Jordan Bovey. Now they get it down to Olsen on the left wing. Back out high to Hydorn, and they swing it around to Shipman on the right wing, and the ball gets knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Viking ball. Ball comes in to Hajdukovic. And over to Bovey. To Hydorn. To Shipman on the right side. Drives towards the lane. Spins. Looking for somewhere to go. And we're going to get the foul called on Fall Creek. 15 foul. And the foul is going to be on McKenna Clawwitter. Shipman with it, gets it out to Bovey, puts up the three, she hit the three-pointer! 40-35, Vikings up by 5. Tum with it for the Crickets. They swing it over to the left side now to Anders. Back out, high to Martin, but then to Anders. Anders spins on the left side, then sends it out to Tum. Over to Clawwitter, to Martin. Over to Hoyer on the right side. She takes it to the free throw line, then gets it back out to Clawwitter, to Martin, to Tum. Over to Hoyer on the left side. Drives to the lane, puts the shot up. It's no good. Olsen with the rebound. And Shipman brings it down the floor for the Vikings. Feeds it underneath to Hajdukovic. Turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound by Shipman. Gets it out to Hydorn. And we're going to get a foul called on Tori Martin. She was trying to plead her case that she was going around, but the referees didn't want to have anything to do with that idea. Goodell comes in, giving Shipman a bit of a break. Olsen inbound it. Gets it to Hydorn. Out high to Jordan Bovey, and the errant pass gets taken away by Fall Creek. Hoyer with it, drives down the lane, tries to put it up and lays it in. 40-37, Vikings by 3. Just under 3 minutes to go. Olsen on the dribble. Feeds it over, and we have a timeout called on the floor. 2:52 to go, Vikings 40. Fall Creek 37, you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
Join us on NLWN-2 for exciting Colfax High School boys basketball.
This is what we came here for!
Our next game will be on Tuesday, February 14th when the Vikings play host to the Elk Mound Mounders. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-2 begins with Viking Pregame at 6:50 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 on Tuesday, February 14th.
Join us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV for exciting Colfax High School girls basketball. Our next game will be on Thursday, February 16th when the Vikings will host the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with Viking Pregame at 6:50 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV on Thursday, February 16th.
Back here at Colfax High School, Vikings have a 3-point lead with 2:52 to go in this one. The outcome very much still in doubt. Both these teams come into the game at 15-6, and they're battling like evenly matched teams. Vikings with the ball on the near side. Shipman to inbound it, gets it into Hydorn. Hydorn between the circles. Feeds it over to the right side to Goodell. Goodell feeds it to Olsen. Ball got tipped, and it was last touched by the Crickets. Olsen to inbound for the Vikings. She gets it in to Hydorn. Hydorn puts it on the dribble. Comes out between the circles. Feeds it over to Olsen, high, wide, and right. Over to Shipman between the circles. To Hydorn on the right side. Top of the key to Hajdukovic. To Olsen between the circles. Over to Shipman. Vikings being patient. Moving the ball. Goodell with it on the left side. Takes it out between the circles. Feeds it over to the right side to Hydorn. She's high, wide, and right. Over to Goodell on the left side. Back over to the right side to Shipman. Shipman to Olsen. Olsen's high, wide, and right. Drives to the lane, kicks it back out to Goodell. Goodell to Shipman. And we get a whistle and a foul. Foul on Jenna Anders. That'll be the 7th foul, putting the Vikings to the line for the 1-on-1. That's the first foul on Anders. Vikings kind of forcing Fall Creek into fouling situations with 1:43 to go. Shot goes up, it's good. 41-37, Vikings by 4. And the second shot is on the way. It's also good. Those are a couple really big free throws. Vikings by 5. It's a 2-possession game. And a timeout being called by the Fall Creek Crickets. Timeout on the floor, 1:38 to go. Vikings 42, Crickets 37. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV and Viking TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 are proud to announce that this spring they will be your viewing home for Eau Claire Cowboys football. Check out www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for times and dates. That's Eau Claire Cowboy football on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
42-37, 1:38 to go. Crickets getting their end of the game strategy figured out. They need to make up 5 points in 1:38. Vikings need to hang on for 5 points in that 1:38. Crickets inbound the ball. This is Anders with it on the right side. She gets it back out high to Martin. Cross-court pass over to Doherty. Doherty kicks it out high to Tum. Back over to Doherty from the corner, three-pointer on the way, it's no good. Rebound chased down by the Vikings, Olsen with it. To Hydorn off her nose, back to Olsen. Vikings a little bit scrappy in the back court. Pass is coming up short, bouncing off noses, and the Vikings decide, well, maybe we just better call timeout, settle things down, and talk things over a little bit. Want to give a big thank you to Cassie tonight for stepping in when we were a little bit short-handed, and she's keeping the numbers for us, and I know she's doing a fabulous job. They all added up right at halftime, so we're pretty sure they're going to be good in the second half. Hey, let's not forget, tomorrow night, Viking boys taking on the Elk Mound Mounders. That's a sweet treat for Valentine's Day for you. Right here at the Colfax High School gym, and of course we will have it for you on NLWN-2. Pregame starts at 6:50. Ball comes into Olsen. Pass gets tipped, and the Crickets get it back. Laying it up and in was McKenna Clawwitter. Vikings have it, and we're going to get a foul. 42-39, 1 minute right on the nose remaining. We take the walk down the floor. Foul was on Jasmine Hoyer. It's her first. It's the 8th team foul. So at the line for the bonus is Molly Hydorn. First shot goes up. It rattles around, goes in. It went in, went out, and went back in again. 43-39. That makes it a two-possession game. Second shot on the way. That one's off the back of the iron. Fall Creek with the rebound. Down the floor come the Crickets. They get it over to Anders. Now they swing it over to the left side. Hoyer puts it up, no good. She gets her own rebound, throws it up, no good. Olsen comes away with the rebound, and we get a foul right away. I believe that's going to be on Clawwitter again. Olsen's going to go to the line for the 1-on-1. Yes, the foul's on Clawwitter. That's her fourth. 45.6 seconds remaining. Olsen at the line for the 1-on-1. First shot on the way. That was good. That's the first point of the night for Ainsley Olsen, but that's a pretty big one. Second shot, that's also good. And a timeout on the floor being called by Fall Creek. So with a timeout on the floor, it's Vikings 45, the Crickets 39. You're tuned to Viking basketball, the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
Soon the weather will change and you'll be able to breathe in the clean fresh air of spring. And you know what comes right along with that. That's right, it will be time for Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball. Follow the Cavaliers all season long right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-TV. Be sure to check out our website at www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for our current broadcast schedule.
And we're back here. Works better if I turn my microphone on. Yeah. We're back here at Colfax High School. Vikings leading 45-39 with 45 and some change remaining on the clock. And the Vikings, Fall Creek will have the ball. They've got to go the length of the floor, and they're trailing by 6. They get it into Tump. She quickly comes down the floor, crosses the timeline. Picked up there by Goodell, takes it over to the right side. Goodell still on her. They get it out high to Anders and over to the right side, and we're going to get a foul on Olsen. This is what they don't want to do, is allow Fall Creek to go to the line. However, the foul is on the floor, so they won't go to the line. That's the 5th foul on the Vikings, 1st foul on Olsen. Pass comes into Hoyer. They get the ball out, 3-pointer on the way, no. Putback is up, no good. Shipman with the rebound and a whistle and a foul right away. And that's going to be another foul on Clawwitter, I think. Yes, and that's her 5th. So Clawwitter is going to check out with 4 points on the night. And so she takes a seat on the bench. Megan Johnston into the lineup. Kenna Shipman, 23.2 seconds remaining. First shot is up, it's good. 14 points for Shipman. Second shot on the way, that crawls in. 47-39, quickly down the floor comes Tom. She drives on the left side of the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. She's got it, and we have a whistle and a foul. Foul's gonna be on, I think it's on Johnston. Nope, I take it back. It's on Hewitt or Hoyer. Boy, I almost made it to the end of the half saying her name right. So Shipman putting the first shot up, and that one's no good. I want to say hi to Brandon Nail, who just subscribed to NLWN-TV. Second shot on the way, that one's no good. And the Crickets come away with the ball. And coming down the floor, and we're going to get a charging foul called on Kennedy Tom. That's her first personal, 10th team foul, but it's a player control foul, so it's not a shooting foul. 7 seconds remaining. Ball comes into Heidorn, she's on the dribble, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. And they call a jump ball with 0.3 of a second. Fall Creek has the ball. This one's going in the victory column for the Vikings. Ball comes in, and there's the buzzer. Final score, Vikings 47, and the Crickets 39. And we will have Viking postgame coming up right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
Jason, let's go see your room.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Viking Girls Basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Postgame, where we'll take a look back at today's Viking game.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are, they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Time now for Viking Postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. And now, Viking Postgame.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Final score in this one, Vikings 47, Fall Creek Crickets 39. It was a hard-fought basketball game from start to finish. Several lead changes and a lot of exciting things going on. The officials let them battle and bang around down there on the floor, and Vikings came away on the good side of things. We'll take a quick look at the scoring here before Coach Serrar comes up. First of all, for the Fall Creek Crickets, they were led in scoring by Jasmine Hoyer, who hit 4 field goals and went 3 for 4 from the free throw line for 11 points. She was followed by Tori Martin, who hit 3 field goals, went 2 for 6 from the free throw line for 8 points. Jenna Anders picked up 6 points. Anna Doherty had 5. And let's see, McKenna Clawwitter had 4 points. Both of those shots came in the second half. Kennedy Tum had 3. All 3 of those points came in the first half. And let's see, Campbell Sell picked up 2 points. For the Vikings, they were led by McKenna Shipman. Shipman hit 5 field goals, one of which was a 3-pointer, and then went 4 for 6 from the free throw line for 15 points. She was followed by Kaysen Goodell, who sunk a couple 3-pointers for 6, as well as Jordan Bovey, who sunk a couple 3-pointers for 6. Oh, and I skipped right over Jeanette Hajdukovic, who hit 5 field goals for 10 points. Also scoring tonight, Molly Hydorn had a field goal and a free throw for 3, and J.C. Bovey hit a 3-pointer for 3. Ainsley Olson hit a couple of free throws for 2, and Autumn Nigaman hit a field goal for 2, and that gave the Vikings 47. And joining us right now is Viking head coach Courtney Serrar. And Coach, that was a battle.
Yeah, I thought the girls played really well. I thought, we executed on the stretch. We did, we shot the ball really well. At the start of the second half, we kind of let them, go on a little run, but then we were able to get some stops and go on a run of our own. And I was really impressed with the way that we handled the ball down the stretch. We executed, and it feels good to win, one of those close games.
And this is a quality team that you played against. They had a record that was the same as yours coming into tonight, and they don't play in a slouch of a conference by any stretch. And so they're a team 15-6 coming in just like you guys were. This is a good win.
Oh yeah, for sure. Jason does, a great job. Fall Creek's got a rich history of, having good teams, and anytime you can get a win against them, it's, definitely a good night.
So, coming up, we have WIA playoffs, but not before you face the Glenwood City Hilltoppers here on Thursday. One final tune-up.
Yeah, for sure. It's senior night, so we would love, for everyone to come out and, show their salute to Molly and Ainsley, who are, 2 great seniors, 2 great leaders, and we're excited, to be able to honor them on Thursday.
Ainsley gets all that from her grandpa, I think.
It must be.
But anyway, senior night on Thursday night, so make sure you come out and cheer on the Viking girls. Final tune-up for the WIA playoffs. I know we talked about it a little bit in the pregame show, but that's the exciting part of, they call it March Madness for a reason, and that's all coming up.
Yeah, for sure. We're just, trying to play our best basketball, and at the end of the year during the tournament, and, we've definitely taken a step in the right direction tonight, so it's good to see.
And the one other thing, before I let you go, it looks like you got out of this one without the injury bug taking any deeper bites out of anybody. And I know you guys have been dealing with that.
Yeah, for sure. I tried to limit Ainsley's minutes, just with her and that knee, but it's hard to take her off the floor for, lengthy amounts of time. So,
she's kind of stubborn that way.
Yeah. So otherwise, I thought, a lot of kids stepped up. I thought Autumn, played some great minutes for us. Jordan Bovey knocked down some huge shots off the bench. Meadow and JC gave us a ton of good minutes too. So overall, everybody did their role and stepped up when their number was called, and I was impressed.
Well, congratulations, 47-39 on a big win tonight. And we'll see you on Thursday against Glenwood City. And we'll be back with more Viking postgame right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
And we're back here. There we go. We're back here at Colfax High School. Final score in this one, once again, the Vikings 47 and the Fall Creek Crickets 39. Good news from over in Pepin, or not Pepin, Amory. Somewhere over that way. It's good news from over in Amory. Vikings came back, fought their way back, and won that game against the Amory Warriors by a score of 62-61. Snapped that losing streak. They got the monkey off their back, and now they're ready to gear up and head towards the WIA playoffs themselves. And they will be right back here tomorrow night. The Viking boys will, taking on, of course, the Elk Mound Mounders, and that we'll have for you on NLWN-2. That's their sweet treat for Valentine's Day. Viking pregame begins at 6:50, and it'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action. That's the Colfax Viking boys tomorrow night on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2. Also, don't forget to join us on NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network on Thursday. That's February 16th. As the Viking girls wrap up their regular season as they play host to the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Live coverage will begin with Viking pregame beginning at 6:50, and that'll be followed by all the live play-by-play. That's Viking Girls Basketball on Thursday, February 16th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. This reminder that the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV are excited to once again be your home for Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball. I know Cassie's excited for that. She's almost as excited as I am. That's one of her favorite summer things to do. And so you can follow the Cavaliers throughout the 2023 season on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Kind of looks like that first game that we'll have will probably be May 21st. We'll have a doubleheader lined up for that day, unless something gets scheduled before that, but it's looking like May 21st. And then Eau Claire has a reborn semi-pro football team, the Eau Claire Cowboys. And NLWN-2, along with the Northern Light Webcasting Network, are excited to be your broadcast home for Cowboy football. So you can follow the Cowboys throughout the 2023 season on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2. Now, tonight's Colfax High School basketball game has been brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital. Let Dr. Buckley and his friendly staff take care of your pet. Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley. Anderson Bridges, who've been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Comfort food the way Mom used to make it. And Fit Fam Nutrition of Colfax with drinks that taste as good as their names sound, plus they're healthy. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV. For Cassie Johnson-Nelson and Jeff Gust, this is Rick Olson. Your final score, once again, Vikings coming out on top, 47, Fall Creek Crickets 39. You've been tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.